authorize Water Infrastructure Finance Authority loan to construct a new well field. To continue our conversation regarding water resiliency and system redundancy, the next presentation will focus on the construction and the financing of a new city well field. We have with us this evening, we have Sean Kendall, our Chief Financial Officer, and Kate Powers, our Water Services Director, to present the item for consideration and possible action.
Yeah, thank you, Henry. Good evening again, Mayor and Council. First up, we just want to do a quick overview of the project and let you know where the money from this loan would actually go and be spent and what it would be used to build. So we have a project, hopefully you're familiar with, called the LPP Lake Pleasant Parkway Wellfield project. It's north of Loop 303, south of the CAP Canal, and just west of Lake Pleasant Parkway. The project overall is to construct 5 new water wells, reservoir piping, and a booster pump station. This project has been divided up into various phases, and so one of those phases concerns just the well field and the piping out in that area to get the water back essentially to Lake Pleasant Parkway. And that's the part of the project that this well field or the loan would apply to. Okay, so there's other items in there like the booster pump station we've talked about in past meetings that are going to be funded with a different tranche of money. Of course, the main purpose of this project is to provide greater access to water we've stored underground. It will also start building infrastructure out there so this project can be developed over time as well and add to the city. It helps certainly prepare us for future growth. We've been here to talk with you about this project before, and you've actually approved a couple of phases of it. Back in November, we approved pre-design services, what we call phase 1. And this past June, we approved another phase for the detailed design, long lead procurement, and the well drilling activities, what we called phase 2A and 2B, to Archer Wester construction. So the project is started. And with that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Sean Kendall.
So thank you, Kate. Mayor, Council. We looked at, so the total project cost for just the wellfield portion of this is a little over $40 million. We had $5 million of ARPA funds available for that, leaving $35 million that needed to be financed. Now we did, through the state and through the mayor's efforts, we thank you for that, get $10 million toward this entire project. And as Kate said, it's kind of in phases. So the wellfield is one, reservoir and some other things are coming later with it. The $10 million is eligible for both pieces of that. The $35 million loan that we asked for, that we applied for with WIFA, is only applicable to the wellfield itself, to this portion of the project. So our plan is to use the loan for this and apply the $10 million to the later phases of this. So just so you're aware of where that's going. The loan that we applied for and was approved by WIFA includes $1 million, a little over $1 million of forgivable principal, which is essentially just another grant to us. The repayment of the remaining $34 million will take place over 20 years. The interest rate, we currently don't know what that is. That'll be set at closing of the loan, but it will be comparable to the interest rate that we would be able to get with 20-year tax-exempt bonds. They stay right kind of in that, that's their benchmark point for it. So with that, staff's recommendation is approval of the resolution authorizing the execution and delivery of the loan agreement, and we're willing to take any questions now.
Councilor Finn.
Thank you. Mayor, can you remind us what WIFA and ARPA stand for, please?
ARPA stands for Recovery, Kevin, I forget the exact initials of it. It's one of the COVID grants, COVID subsidy grants that came through.
Okay.
I've been calling it ARPA for so long, I forgot the letters.
No problem. Okay. Thanks, Mayor.
Councilor Schaefer.
Thank you, Mayor. Quick question, the $5 million ARPA funds, is there any stipulations or requirements to the city for those $5 million?
We have already, that's money that was already provided to the city, and this was just one of the eligible uses of it, so that's where we set it aside for this use.
Wonderful, a funding source. Okay, thank you. And one last question. What's the interest rate on the WIFA loan?
We don't know at this time what the interest rate will be. It'll be based on the market rate at the time of closing. But that market rate, what they do is they do a discounted market rate based on AAA MMD. So it will be comparable to what we could get in a tax exempt financing, but we don't know the exact rate yet.
Thank you.
Mayor, if I may
Please.
answer Councilmember Finn's question.
Somebody Googled something, I'm just pointing this out.
I am allowed to use my cell phone at the dais, and I may be the only one, so I did phone a friend, Google. And ARPA stands for the American Rescue Plan Act. And WIFA is the Water Infrastructure Finance Authority. And I happen to know that because I used to be the chair.
Any other questions at all? No? Do I have a motion? So moved, Mayor. Do I have a second? Second. Please vote. Passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen.